Never swing for the fences. This is what I heard growing up, but I don't think it's true. Here's why swinging for the fences might actually help you out. When I would try to be precise in a game with my swing, I would often strike out more and have less solid contact. You see, growing up, I was always told, never swing for the fences. And while this may help some players, it's not good advice for every player. Not every player is going to be a home run hitter. Some guy needs to bat leadoff and be the speed guy. And for those players, by all means, punch the ball to the opposite field. But even the speed guy who's batting leadoff and is never going to hit a home run in his career, he should still be taking swings at max intensity while in practice. Not always, but sometimes. Listen up. Here's the key takeaway. In practice, at least once a week, you should be swinging with 100% effort, max intensity. Let me explain. This makes sense. If you're in practice and you think, okay, perfect mechanics, and maybe you're swinging 80% of your max effort, maybe that's how you hit most consistently in practice. So you take it to the game. You try to swing 80% effort in the game. Well, guess what? You have adrenaline pumping, you're excited. Maybe you're trying to dial it back and only swing 80% like you do in practice, and yet in the game, because of adrenaline, you're gonna be swinging 100% of your effort. That's just the way that it works. In the game, you swing a lot harder without even trying. That's why some players kill it in practice, but then they get in the game and they're an entirely different hitter. So if that's you, you can either one, try to dial it back even more in the game to compensate for the adrenaline, or two, and this is what I recommend, in practice, you practice at 100% effort. Not every time throughout the week. You can have some feel-good rounds where you work oppo, but at least one time out of the week, you should be taking swings with max effort, max intensity. Because at the very least, your body can learn how to keep yourself under control while taking max effort swings. And the truth is, very few hitters, especially young hitters, have the discipline to dial back a few notches their intensity in a tough situation. So at the very least, if you have practiced at 100% effort, then by the time you get into the game, those amped up adrenaline swings will still be precise, solid, mechanically sound swings. But there's a caveat to this. Here's one common mistake. Swinging 100% or swinging for the fences doesn't necessarily mean that we need to think elevate. Certain hitters need to think elevate. I was one of them. I naturally had a downward plane to my swing. However, there's also plenty of players who naturally have way too much of an upward plane into the baseball. Those players need to think more along the lines of, I want to hit a line drive through the fence in the outfield rather than over the fence. So when you're taking those max 100% intensity swings in practice, doesn't necessarily mean that you're swinging for the fences trying to hit it over the fence. Sometimes it might mean swing through the fence as hard as you can. The point is you need to take some reps at 100% max effort, because once you get into the game, whether you like it or not, you are taking max effort swings all the time. The last thing I'll say on this point is that it's good to know who you are as a hitter. A guy like me, when I was playing, needed to think max intensity, pedal to the metal. I knew other guys though who, if they thought that very same thing, they'd swing out of their shoes and they'd strike out. I was most precise when I was thinking swing for the fences. However, there's also a lot of players who are most precise when they think smooth, controlled movements. So know what kind of hitter you are, learn what kind of hitter you are as you go through your career, and realize it's also necessary to, in practice those max effort swings alongside of our controlled practice swings as we work on our mechanics. I'm Coach Rack with Headbanger Sports, and we'll see you guys next week.